called Patchy Pony Stitcher. It is a channel all about cross stitch, and I'm going live today. The reason I'm going live is because I cannot for the life of me have more memory on my phone without deleting all my videos of my horses and so forth. So I did a couple of videos, wasn't able to upload them, so I thought, well, let's just see if this works. So this could be a red hot mess. I have turned my comments off because I don't want to be distracted by comments. So any comments will be when it's totally uploaded to YouTube. So today is the 22nd of June. I'm coming to you from Tasmania, which is the most southern state of Australia. I told you this could be a red hot mess. No editing. So I'm coming to you from the southern state of Tasmania, and I've had a lot of new subscribers thanks to Stacey from 911 Stitcher. So thank you so much, Stacey. It warms my heart so much. So thank you. So I am going to do a little bit of a whip parade because I've got so many new subscribers, and I haven't really been around all that much to show you for about 6 months. So I thought we'll get started with the new subscribers and I will show you everything. So I've probably got about maybe 25 whips, but first of all I'm going to show you my latest FO. So an FO is a finished object. Now this is called Bloom and Grow from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This was a sale that Sally asked me to join in about 2 or 3 years ago, and I just couldn't keep up. So this is on an even weave, and I use the DMC that Sally provided to me. Now I did have 8 flower pots on it. I got to the 8th flower pot and I was burnt out on it. So I had all this space and I off-centered the fabric unintentionally, but I did. So I ended up putting this I saw this little saying on, I don't know whether it was sort of on a TikTok or something, but it said, be honest, be nice, be a flower, not a weed. And I didn't want to put the be honest on there, so I just put there, be nice, be a flower, not a weed, and added some little flowers, just in a lovely variegated thread that, and as you can see, it's quite a busy variegated thread, but it does match all the colours. So I'm going to turn this into a drum, a nice tall drum for my spring decor, which will go on my hutch behind me. So I'm really happy with how that one turned out, and I am happy it's finished. It was quite a big stitch. It was all released in 8 months, so you got a flower pot every month as a mystery part of the sale, but I am glad that one is finished. Now I'm just going to straighten you up a bit. Sorry. As I said, red hot mess. This is live, and usually I edit so much, and the really hard thing with going live is I can't put photos over the top, so unfortunately you don't get to see the before and the afters. Now I have unzipped all of my project bags so you don't have to listen to the zipping and the zipping ups, but I will be putting things away as I go, otherwise it becomes a mess. So the first one that I'm going to show you, and these are all in no particular order, I have just stacked them out of my basket onto my table beside me, and you can see it's quite tall. So the first one I'm going to show you is my Rosewood Manor Corner and Curves. And yes, Tess, this has got your name on it still. But I have not done anything to this last time I've shown you. Now I'm using a variegated thread from Silks for You, and I will use this beautiful hank of Silks for You that I ordered for this lovely pastel colours. But I have a tiny start on this linen. Which way is the front? This way. And that is all that I have done. And I've had this for about 2 years, and it just, unfortunately, it doesn't call me. So I do need to spend a couple of sessions on it just to see whether or not it is going to stay in my rotation or not, because yeah, it's not one that I think of to do or one that screams my name, but it is pretty and I do like it, and I love the variegated silks that we're using. The next one that I am going to show you is Quaker Quilts by Carriage House Samplings. Now this one, I don't know how old this one is. Just have a quick look. Oh, no, it's gone on the floor. So I'm doing this one on a linen, and again, tiny, teeny little start. So just have started that one. And again, one that is on a massive piece of fabric. Actually, I didn't realise how much fabric I had there, sitting there waiting. So using some Victoria samplers, sorry, not Victoria, Victoria mottos on these. But I must get back to that one because I do like my Quakers, and that one's actually quite nice. I haven't touched that for maybe, I think I started that in Mania, and that was it. That was my Mania start, and I haven't touched it since. Oh, here comes a favourite. Now this one does get touched a lot. Now this is my Quaker Christmas 2. I'm so sorry guys, this is going to be probably a little bit disjointed while I get things out for you. So this is a really bad front copy of a, like, even though it's in black and white, it's just a terrible mock-up of what this chart is, because it's gorgeous, and the actual fabric in the picture is all scrunched up so you really can't see. But what it is it's the second Christmas Quaker, and it's got all the Christmas carols text throughout the Quaker and lots of fun motifs to go along with those. So this one I have to actually take it out of the Q-snap to show you, because for those who haven't been before, and welcome, thank you so much for coming if you are new and giving me a try, because this one is just stunning and I love doing this one. Now, where are we? There we go. Oh, I just love it. I love this, and I'm using the DMC 115. And I am fussy cutting it a little bit. I'm going to bring it in a bit closer so you can see, just for example, this silver bells. So I try to keep the variegation flowing throughout the motif so it doesn't sort of look hard reds and, not hard reds, but a hard change. But I am loving how that is coming along. So if you have this in your stash and you haven't started it, oh, it is so much fun. You will love it doing it. I took this to my most recent retreat in Victoria, and it was called the Vic Stitches Retreat, and it was run by Laura X Stitch, and we had a ball, and I took this along, and in the chart it's got GRR, and I couldn't work out for the life of me what GRR was. Of course it was the initials of the designer. So I just popped in there 2022. So I'm committed. This is getting done by the end of this year, and this will be up on my wall for Christmas. I love that. Just stunning. That gets lots of stitches because I do quite a few. Well, my stitching is, for those that are new, my stitching is determined by prompts in the Daily 30 and the Down Under Divas. So prompts are what keeps me motivated, keeps me moving on with different projects, and because that's got so much in it, it fits a lot of prompts, so it does get quite a bit of work. Excuse me while I rattle the Q-snaps. Okay, well, don't you fall. My next one. Okay, good luck if you can pronounce this. Debbie, no cheating. We know that you can do. Debbie from Creatively Yours passed this one on to me. And I do know that it's from Yoko Trebedinase, but I do not know how to pronounce that. Nope, not trying. So this one has been in my rotation for a little while, and again it comes out with prompts. And this one is on a linen that I hand dyed myself, and this is where I'm up to. However, I think I am going to be a little bit too short with the fabric as far as the round goes, because I'm only up to the squirrel, so I've got 2 more rounds beyond that. I don't think I'm going to have enough room. So I think I will, once I complete this round and put the border on, I might get in the second round and turn it into a drum top, like a really squatty drum top, I think, like sort of like a miniature foot puff, I suppose you could say. I could just see it with a velvet band, like quite a narrow and a velvet band in that maroon colour. So that's what I might do with that one. So that one, again, good luck if you can say it. So I'll hold it up just in case you're interested, because I ain't seeing that. Not even trying. Okay. The next one in my Outlander bag. Oh, I unzipped everything and now I just zipped it back up. So, next one is the Blue Flowers Winter Squirrel. Now, a lot of people have seen these. Where's the cover photo? Here it is. Blue Flower Winter Squirrel. This has been out for, I think this was 2018. So I got this at the market release. Love it, but it does have big chunks of stitching, and it held me up at the beginning stitching that squirrel because he is a beast. Lots and lots of solid stitching, but now that I'm onto the little tree, I love that. Now can you see the snowflakes? Just there we go. That's a good view of the white. So I'm using the DMC for this one. So all I really have to do, not that you can see the snowflakes all that well in the model either. I don't think I'll put the border on, because I find when I've got a square border around a piece and I want to either flat fold it or frame it, it can come a little bit tricky because you've got something that has to be straight. So when you've just got an object or like this, you can't really tell if you're a little bit off. So I don't think I'll put the white border around that one. So we should see that one finished up quite soon. Actually, he needs to go onto my winter decor hutch behind me, because I only got 2 stitches there. You can't even see there we go. So I've got 2 stitches on my winter decor hutch. So he really does need to get up and add it. Now, my only Nora Corbett, and it's not a lady. This is called a Celtic welcome, because my mum is full Irish, which makes me half Irish, and I have a calling to things all Irish. I just love them. And this, when I saw this on Instagram, someone had put it up finished, and it was just stunning. And then I pulled the colours, and it was not what I was expecting. They were a little bit brighter than what I thought. And I guess that sort of, and then I didn't realise, well, I guess I did realise it is full coverage, except for the white. That's all vacant space, and I will keep that vacant space. But this is 300 stitches, whoops. 300, 400 stitches, and I am doing it over 1 over, this is 20 count, so just 1 over 20 count, so 1 over 1, I guess you could say in Ada. And it's slow going, and it's a lot of counting, and it's gonna be forever a lot of counting. Look at all, like, all this up in here, all the Celtic knots. So that one is a concentration one. That's not if you just want to relax. You've actually got to be in the mood for that one, but I do love it, and it will continue to stay in my rotation. Next one I have is Heart in Hand. Now this is an oldie, but it had a few speciality stitches that I wanted to try. So this is called Acorn Sampler, and this is just on, this is on 20 count Ada 2, so it's over 1. It's tiny. That's how I've nearly completed it. And I'm just using random threads. Oh, that leaf looks black. It's in this light. It's actually like a nice dark maroon, as is those speciality stitches up there. So not much to go on him. I've just got the acorns down the bottom, acorns and a pumpkin down the bottom, and that one will be done. And that's got quite a few different, not that you can see because it's so small, but there's quite a few different stitches in that, which has been fun actually. I don't mind having a crack at some different stitches other than just your regular cross stitch. But again, being 20 count and one thread, you've got to be concentrating. My next one, which I showed you in my last floss tube if you were watching, is Blossom by Carolyn Manning. Not many people have seen this particular chart. I quite enjoy it. It's quite Quakery, you could say. And I cannot wait to put these crocheted little flowers on, which came with it when I purchased it. I think I got it off a D-stash. I'm thinking I got it off Bendy Stitchy's D-stash actually. And this is where I'm up to. Excusing all the folds and creases in my fabric, please. But yeah, I've heard that ironing multiple times before your final iron is not good. So I don't iron before showing until it's ready for framing. So this is where we're up to, and look at all those lovely little blossoms on the tree, and they're all different. The color palette is probably, how many colors did it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 colors, but they just blend so beautifully. And now so I've done all the tree itself, so now I'm on to the fun bit of just doing all of those blossoms. And the best part about this one, if you miscount, it doesn't really matter, it's random, it's a tree with blossoms. So, because counting is hard, as we know, and I don't think I've actually ever done one project where I haven't got something off or something's in the wrong place by one. Even my full coverage, I've had to fudge it to a degree. Speaking of full coverage, my next one is the gift. Now, if I had to pick one project out of all of my projects, that's all I could work on because the others disappeared, this would be it. This is called The Gift. This is a watercolor by Sandy Leah, and it's in, for those who are not Australian, this is a representation of the Anzacs, or a memorial piece. So we've got the Anzac slouch hat, we've got the red poppies, and the war horses that were off to war as well. And I fell in love with the painting first of all, and then I'd seen it become a cross stitch pattern. So that was coming home with me. Now, this is the first time I've used gridded fabric. Never again would I go back to doing a full coverage without grids or lines, because gridding, it makes everything nice and fun, and I can do cross country. So this is where we are. So as you can see, I've only touched, oh actually you can't see because I have got it in the snap. That's how much I've done. So I've done that, the white corner. Now I'll bring this back in because I can't overlay a picture. So I'm finally starting to come down. I think I've got into the horse's ear and bridle there, and I'm sort of working on a diagonal, and I finish the color of the thread that I'm using. So I'll pick a thread and finish it that way, and if I've got leftover thread, I'm not parking, they're just tails that need to be cut. I'm not parking, I'm completing that thread, which I'm actually, and they're for the next page, so they will go down. So I'm really enjoying this one. And it's not very defined because it's a watercolor. It actually, like as you're stitching, I've actually got to refer back to the chart and go, oh yes, that's what I'm doing. Because sometimes a color will come up and I'm like, that's a bit odd. But then when you look at the chart, it makes a lot of sense. So that is The Gift. My favourite. My favourite. Oh, here's the next one. I haven't touched. Hopefully that will not cascade. Excuse me, bending down. This one. Now, this is when I first started. Cross stitching, and I wanted to do my own design. In my craft room, I have ticket stubs of all the concerts that I've ever been to. And what enabled me to do this was the Cloud Street people when I was looking for something. And I thought, I could probably wangle it to be the people that I want it to be. So I haven't worked on this, but this is going to be worked on this week because I've got a prompt. So this is on a 18 count Ada that I hand dyed myself, and it is a companion piece for my ticket stubs. So I'll bring it in closer. So these are all the people that I've been to in the year that I saw them live. Poor old Belinda Carlisle is a bit on the chubby side, but anyway. Not that in real life, that was just my stitching. So I'm only up to 2014, and this is the length of my piece. So there's going to be a bit of a gap between 2020 and 2022. Not that I've even got anything in the pipeline at the moment for concerts. Usually I'd have something in the pipeline. But yeah, so this is called the Sampler of Firsts, because it was my first sampler, my first lot of hand dyeing, my first lot of self-charting, all sorts of different things. First time using Kryneck, using Whisper. So that is called the Sampler of Firsts, and you will see this next time with a new artist on it, because I have a prompt coming up that is about a whip that you can't take too seriously. And I think that one fits the bill just perfectly. So, and it's good because I can use up all the odds and sods of leftover threads and so forth. So that's my Sampler of Firsts. Now this one is a bit of a special one too. This, if I can find the cover chart, cover photo. This is called Choose Your Own Motto Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. And it says in it, all I'm saying is that you'll never see me crying and eating tacos at the same time. I'm not going to be putting that particular saying in mine. Now the reason that this one's a bit special is because it was a pass on. So this was started by Christine by who is Stitch All the Things. And she passed it on. Now, which way does it go? And she had done this big flower in the corner, and I am gone down, and now I'm going across the top. So Christine had chosen this to do this one on an even weave, and I think it is Country Mocha, the one where it's white on the back but mottled on the front. Country Mocha, something like that. And it is over one thread over one, and it is hard going, but I am determined I'm going to finish this and put something ever so snarky in the middle, because it's so pretty and florally and you'd expect something nice in it, but no, I'm going to be popping something in there to my liking. And Christine kitted it up, so she included the fabric and all her threads, which are nearly all over dyes, plus additional in case, like, look, ever so generous, and her little project bag. So that one is coming along nicely, and again that just comes out when I do prompts and so forth. Okay, is anyone keeping count? Because I'm not. I'm going to fix you up again. My camera just seems to be, see, the joys of live. You can't, no editing. Okay, next one is my Farmhouse Christmas. So I've got, oh, don't look at the chart. So I've got the whole 12 of them. I'm doing this in one big piece because I want to make this into a wall hanging. The only thing, now I need that thread there. Actually, sorry. The only thing that I am changing, except for the colour of the fabric, because I think they've all got theirs on like a cream. I'm doing mine on a big piece of blue linen because I want this more to be wintry opposed to Christmassy. So I have omitted a few of the red carnivals. Now I'm not going to be able to think of the word. The red birds. You know what I mean. These good guys. Because I want it to be more about winter because, of course, in Australia we don't have winter at Christmas. So, oh, hi, Linda. Cardinals, that's it. Thank you, Allegro Stitches. I thought I turned the comments off, but I didn't. But thank you. Yes, the cardinals. So this one is going to be predominantly winter opposed to Christmas. So I've done 2 blocks. This is more of just a prompt stitching when I need something that fits the prompt. So this isn't one that I go, oh, I've got a stitch on it. But it is one that eventually will be part of my winter decor. And I haven't double bordered. See how they've all got a border around them? I learned that from my hook run hollow, that you can use one edge of the previous border rather than double stitching the border, and saves you a lot of time and a lot of floss, even though this is only white. But who likes stitching white thread? Not many people like it. So to be able to narrow down the white crosses, I'm in for it. So that's where we are with Farmhouse Christmas. You probably haven't seen that one actually for a while for those regulars that come back. It's been a little while since it's been out on my channel. Okay, my next one is Quilting Bee. Blue flower again. I love this one. And I've got to do some research because I saw on Instagram someone had done the bees, I think it was in the bee wings in blending filament, and they sort of looked iridescent and they were gorgeous. So that's what I'd like to do with mine. So I haven't even started the bee because bee wings, because I need to go back and try and find the bee with the iridescent. It was like a blue, I don't know if that's blending filament, that they just totally stitched it in blending filament. But yes, that's where I'm up to using the DMC. And loving how that one's coming along. It is, now this one, like I said before, there's lots of counting errors that I make. So as long I've got it, I have to keep the edges right, otherwise it won't line up. This one's going to be a hard one to frame because it's got a very straight border. Not my favourite. I've learnt about straight borders and framing or flat folding. Okay, get that one in there. Now this one, it's so funny. It's like presents every time you open a bag you haven't been into for a while, but I have been into this bag just recently. So this one is, these are Crafty Like a Fox. However, on Instagram, she is, oh Fox, you are so crafty. And she has lots of pairs of animals, unicorns, llamas, all sorts of things. But I picked these up at the Mittagong retreat when she came and did a trunk show there. And I thought I would do one really long piece. And this is where I'm up to. So I've done the galahs. I've done 3 cockatoos because I don't want it to be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 across. So I was trying to be a little bit more random. I did 1 koala, and we have black cockatoos here at home. lots and lots of them. We have the white cockatoos also along with the pink galahs, but I had to, so I've sort of converted one of the white cockatoos into a black cockatoo, and I'm going to put another black cockatoo there. And I really want a magpie. I love our magpies here. In Tasmania, they don't swoop you. On the mainland, they can be quite territorial, and they don't mind actually connecting. But here in Tassie, they're not. They just keep to themselves, and I love them. So galahs and the cockatoos are parrots, where the magpie is not. So I don't think I can just sort of finagle the bird shape into a magpie colouring, but I'll give it a go because I'd really love to have a magpie. I did reach out to the designer and said, oh, are you going to put a magpie out? And she said, oh, that's a good idea, but it hasn't happened. She does have another set of birds called gangangs, which are more like a red parrot, but we don't have them here in Tasmania. So I didn't, not that we have koalas either. How many of you didn't know that Tasmania did not have native koalas? You learnt something today. But who can resist a cuddly koala? I had to pop him in there. So I reached out to her and asked for a magpie. I don't know if that's going to happen, but then now I'm like, oh, well, if I put a magpie in, then I've got to put a kookaburra in. So this is the length of, I'm going to have fun with all these whips when I go to use them because they've all come out of their Q-snaps. But this is the length of my fabric. So I still have quite a bit of creativity juices that I can keep using that. And as Janine says, from the blue flower, I can get drunk on my own creative power and I can just keep going until I get to the end of the fabric. But I think that would make a really cute framed narrow piece of all the Australian birds and one koala. I'll probably only just do the one koala because we don't have them here in Tasmania. Okay. New piece. This is a new start that you haven't seen before. You've probably seen I've probably showed you when I purchased the pattern. Again, not trying to pronounce anything here. If you'd like to pronounce it, you go for it. These are I think they're German. No, don't try, Mel. Do not try to say that. And I saw this finished on Instagram and it looked stunning, just stunning. So I got this and it sat around and then I thought I need a really, I was going to say easy stitch, but it wasn't easy. For the retreat, I thought lots of one colour. And as it turned out, I frogged, and because you know what it's like at retreats, you get talking and then you've one stitch off, and this cannot be one. This was one that I won't be able to finagle, and this is where I'm up to, and I just love it. It looks so cool. So I've just done one of those, and I think it's 400, I think each square. Let me have a quick look. No, they're about 250 by 250 each square. And then you've got the bit in between each square as well. So the white will stay as the fabric colour. But how cute. Look at that little needle minder I got at the retreat. I just love that. That's from Ginger Stitch AU. You can get that on his Etsy if you're interested, and he does ship worldwide. But love that. So that I called it, that translated is the colour of water, I think. So I'm just calling it the colours of water. So when I'm doing my prompts and stuff, I refer to that as colours of water, and that will be awesome for any time I need to do penalty stitches in blue, because it is all greens, because it is all blues and greens. This pile's going down and this pile's going up. So we are getting there. Okay, now this is my cricket collection. These make great charts for prompt stitching. So I am doing beach, and I will be changing that the sail from that flag to probably just a solid flag. Actually, my sister has a boat. I wonder if she's got a pattern on her sail, because I could then change it to whatever, like if she's got something, I think it's just white though from the photos, but that would be cool if she had a pattern on her catamaran sail that I could pop that into my chart, because I do like to personalize things. Now, I change every letter in Beach is different. Sorry for the glare. I didn't particularly care for that. So I am using a Weeks Dye Works cat's tail, because it's, to me, it's very sandy-like. The fabric is a Bestitch Me fabric that I got in a Friday night fight night, and it's quite watery looking, like just mottly like the water. I am going to have to backstitch the sandcastle because it blends too much. Actually, that doesn't look too bad from, no, I will have to backstitch the sandcastle to get a more defined shape, but I love how this is coming along. I haven't done all the little backstitching because there's some reeds and things that go in here, and I've just nearly finished that one, but I really enjoy these. I've done December, and that was lots of fun too. They're just a great I guess you have to count, but I just find them relaxing and enjoyable. So that is, well, actually that one's called Beachy Mood. I just call it Beach. But yes, that one's called Beachy Mood. Okay, here is a love-hate relationship one. This is called Fire and Ice by Custom Crafts on black fabric. Oh, this was my first black fabric attempt, and this also was an adopted piece from Tash, who has a YouTube channel, but she's had a baby, so she hasn't been on for a while. So when Tash passed it my way, it was straight across. So Tash had done like a third of it. And then I've got quite a bit to go still. And this is 2 over, actually let's have a look at Tash's notes. This is 32 count. Yeah, 32 count, and it's 2 over 2. But by golly, you have to have good lighting, or if the lighting's not working for you, I have to put it away, because, like, again, this is one that you can finagle a bit because it is sort of confettied, but you can't finagle it too much. So I have to be really super careful with not missing a thread in the actual fabric itself. But yes, it does look amazing. Thank you, Patricia. I'm really happy with how it looks, especially from afar. It's going to look stunning. But I've had this now for 3 years, and to get it out, I've really got to be in the mood for it because it's black fabric. I don't know how many other people stitch on a lot of black fabric, but I just find I can't find the holes that well, and you only need to miss one thread and it, oh by golly, it mucks things up badly. Okay, 3 more to go. This is a new start from just last week. I needed a prompt, and this one is just a small, because I haven't got many smalls in here, so I thought, oh, I'll just quickly grab something out of my kitted basket. And it is a Needlewoman's Notes out of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher 2016. And it's just a Needlewoman's Notes, and I think it's on a note book. They've finished it, but I'm going to put a Needlewoman's needles and make it into a little needle book. And that's where I'm up to at the moment. So I have tried, oh, sorry, I got distracted. I have changed the L and the M. I know they're back the front, but that's my initials, and that when there's ever an alphabet, I do like to do that and put it in a different color. So lucky me that I have my initials side by side in the alphabet, and then I can flip it and it makes it a little bit unique for me. And the flower was in the chart, and I've already put in 2022, and I'm going to make a little, just a little needle book, probably not a functional needle book. I'll probably just have it as part of a decor that comes out every now and then. Now I'm going to show you this, this one bag. I haven't been showing you my bags, but this is what I received at a Tassie Stitches retreat as my smalls exchange. So this is what I got, not what I made. This is what I got. And I love it, it's beautiful. It's bees, like just a little bee chart, and it's all quilted. And how stunning is this? I just love this project bag. It is gorgeous. So that was my new start for the week. Now, I did talk about this in my last floss tube, that I was about to start it, and I have started it. And I love it. This is, I never thought I'd be a sampler person, but I started Consider the Lilies. When I got this and it was like a book, I was like, oh my goodness. So this is a sal that Catherine and I from Nita Not Across the Sea are doing. So if you want to join in, you're more than welcome. It's on Instagram. It's hashtag Tasman. No, it's hashtag. See, I can't even edit. It's hashtag Across the Tasman Lilies, because Catherine lives in New Zealand and I'm in Tasmania, and we've got the Tasman Sea between us, and we would love anyone to come along and join us, especially if you're stitching this and you're from from Australia or New Zealand. And I love it. I just love this piece so much. And this is where I'm up to. It is fun. It really is. I just love it. And this is just on an antique white. And I used as much overdyes from my stash as I could. So what I did was I pulled all the DMCs. No, I pulled everything that I had that was called for, as in weeks, and no, I think they only had weeks. And then I pulled the DMCs, and then I went back through my other fancies, they're not fancies, other overdyes, and pulled some of those to use them up. So these are my threads in their messy gloriness. And I love this. It is so much fun. I've just started on the butterfly wing, and that's 2 pages. So it's not hard, and it's just a bit daunting. I have all my fabric in a pillow slip just to avoid it getting dirty, but it is like 1 meter by 1 meter. So it's huge. But that's 2 pages, and it's not difficult. So don't be put off by seeing that and thinking, oh, that's hard, because that you just do one little motif at a time. Stunning. So Catherine, where are you up to? I didn't see yours in your last floss tube. Now, that particular one gets stored in that whole thing, my Q-snap, and all the fabric, I store that in another pillow slip. But I store my book and my flosses in this lovely project bag that I won as part of the raffle at the Vic Stitches retreat. Isn't it gorgeous? And then we got these little, we got the swag bags, and they all had they were all personalised and had our names on them. And I thought that green just matches perfectly. It's very gardeny. It just goes so well with Consider the Lilies. And it was a new start, new project bag. So I was delighted. Okay, so that's all my, oh dear. Oh no. See, this is why you don't do things when you're filming. Now, I have one more project to show you, but it's on my floor stand. So I'm going to need to take the camera off. When I do that, I'm not going to swing it back around. So I'll show you that right at the end. I wanted to let you know the winner of my last giveaway, which was a quilt pattern. I'm not a quilty person. I got it as part of a a prize package, and it's over there, and now I'm live, so I can't get up and get it. So the winner of that one is going to be Helen Barry. Now, from your remarks, Helen, I think that you're in New Zealand, and you did mention Consider the Lilies, so I'd love you to jump on board and join Catherine and I with Consider the Lilies. It would be good to see you. So I'm going to pop my email address and my Instagram details after it's all uploaded, I guess. So please just send me an email and I'll be more than happy to send that away with you. I don't have a giveaway for this particular video, only because I just thought of it then and I don't want to get up. So thank you everyone for who's come across from Stacey and to join me. Have a look. I'm so close to 2,000 subscribers. It jumped so incredibly high after Stacey shouted me out. So thank you, Stacey. I really appreciate it. But thank you again if you've been with me the whole time, and for coming back each time and leaving comments. I do read them all and I'll heart them. And if you've stayed with me through this live as I've bumbled my way through it, and if things go well, I may continue to do lives, only because I don't have to worry about edit. Well, not so much that I do like the editing. It's just my phone can't cope, and then I get to the import thing and then you've wasted all that time. So bear with me while I try to, yes, I can. Here we go. So I'm just going to hope not to make you too sick. So thank you for being with me. Now I'm going to switch around, and there is my prairie romance. Isn't she coming along so nicely? I am loving this. So I've well and truly over halfway, but still got a long slog ahead of me, and a lot of it is, thank you, Linda. And I've still got a lot of, once I get past this muzzle, this part's probably going to be a hard slog because the fun bit will be done and the horses will be visible. But we will see how we will get this finished. I will get this done because I love it. And looking at it through the camera just makes me like, oh yes, I can see all the detail. When you're up close to these things, sometimes you miss that. But anyway, everyone, thank you so much for coming and spending some time with me. And thank you guys that have hung out on the live and commented. I have seen them, just tried not to get too distracted. I might get better at it. But anyway, I'm signing off and I will see you all later. Bye.